To the Middle East now, and the United Nations says it is deeply concerned about a new evacuation order issued by Israel on Wednesday. For the second time since the start of the war with Hamas, all residents of Gaza City have been told to leave. Israel says it is now targeting several areas where it believes the remaining Hamas militants have regrouped.
Smoke seen over Gaza City just hours after Israel dropped leaflets telling all its residents to flee. The order sent thousands of Palestinians on the run again.
I'm fleeing south because of the blocking of phone services and the harsh living conditions, and also the lack of food and water.
Dozens of Palestinians were reported killed across Gaza over the past few days, after the Israeli army once again stepped up its operations against Hamas. Israel says its main goal is to destroy the remaining militants.
We have no interest in harming civilians in Gaza City or anywhere else. We're trying to get to the terrorists, where the terrorists attack from or where they have set up base.
The Israeli military says it has pulled out its forces from Gaza City's Shujaa district after they completed a two-week operation there. Some of the residents went back there to assess the damage.
After the first incursion, we came here and repaired our houses, and in order to shelter ourselves, we fixed the windows and covered them with plastic sheets. We have returned to Shujaa after 15 days. You can see the destruction. They spared nothing, even trees. There was a lot of greenery in this area. What is the guilt of stone and trees, and what is my guilt as a civilian?
As Israeli soldiers return to some areas that had previously been declared clear of Hamas, civilians in Gaza continue their search for a safe place.
We're going to cross to Gaza now and bring in Scott Anderson, who's the Director of Affairs in Gaza for UNRWA, the United Nations Relief Agency for Palestinian Refugees. Scott, thank you so much for making time for us. What can you tell us about the impact of the evacuation order for Gaza City? Where are people heading?
Thank you for having me on this afternoon. And what we've seen is a population of about 250,000 people in Gaza City that have been displaced again. Almost all of that population has been displaced at least once, if not twice, and many is 7 or 8 times. And they've been on the move trying to find safety. They moved west. The IDF has reported they pulled out and they came back east. Some have come south. We spent a lot of time recently just trying to figure out where people are moving. We do know that thousands have come across the checkpoint into the south of Wadi Gaza, into the middle area, and we're trying to ascertain the condition of these people, what their needs are, while at the same time trying to figure out where people are in the north, what their needs are, and how we can meet them.
I understand that you're in Khan Yunis at the moment. That's further south than Gaza City. Can you tell us what the current situation is there? I mean, are people there relatively safe?
I mean, nowhere in Gaza is completely safe. We've seen that, unfortunately, throughout the 9 months of this conflict, where innocent civilians have suffered from the ongoing operations, the ongoing battle between Israel and Hamas. What we're seeing here in Khan Yunis is people still trying to recover from an operation or a battle that took place here toward the end of last year. And people are just trying to remove rubble, find safe places for them and their family. And most importantly, people are trying to access clean drinking water. Clean drinking water is one of the bigger challenges. It's very hot here in Gaza at the moment. People don't have access to electricity or air conditioning, and it's very hard for them to cool off. So at a time when we need more access to clean and cool drinking water, what we have is people have about 10% of what they should every day. You know, that and the close living conditions always make us concerned about a possible outbreak of disease. But for the most part, people spend all day, every day, just trying to meet their basic needs and keep themselves and their families safe.
Scott, Israel has struck several schools in recent days, including, of course, one run by your organisation in central Gaza. The Israeli military says terrorists were operating from the UNRWA-run school and in the UNRWA headquarters in central Gaza, where, and I'm quoting here, it says, operational activity is continuing. Could you give us your response to that accusation?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we've been calling for independent investigations into what's happened at the installation since the beginning of the conflict. That's something we would reiterate a call for. Similarly, we called on all parties to the conflict to respect the sanctity of UN installations, to respect the sanctity of hospitals, so that people that are innocent, the civilians, can seek refuge and be safe while the war between Israel and Hamas continues. The only other thing I would offer about our headquarters is we left there in October. We have not been back since. So it's almost impossible for us to ascertain if there is any truth to the allegations or what is happening in Gaza City.
OK, so you can't deny that there may have been activity in the UNRWA properties, in the UNRWA buildings?
I can't state one way or another because we aren't there. We haven't been north of Wadi Gaza with an overnight presence since October when we left and everyone moved south. So there's no way to respond to the allegations one way or the other.
Scott Anderson, UNRWA's Director of Affairs in Gaza. Scott, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much. Bye.